Hello and happy June, Simply Grace and Grit. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for our team meeting. Really, it's a monthly meeting. Anyone in my downline is welcome. Um, Anyone in Simply Grace and Grit is welcome. But it's really our last 2 months have been a little wonky because of baseball, but baseball season's over here in Tennessee for us. So we are back to regularly scheduled evening monthly meetings. Super excited. Super excited for everyone who is live, super excited for everyone who is watching the replay. There is literally no perfect time for a meeting. I've learned that as a leader. No matter what you do, no matter what you change, no matter how many different times you offer, it's never going to work for everyone. So, if you could put in the chat what you had for dinner. If you haven't had dinner, what you had for dinner last night. I want to see who's here, who's talking to me. I don't mind that you don't have your videos on, but I do want to know that you're here and you're well and all the things. So say hi in the chat. Tell me what you had for dinner. We had chicken parmesan. That is one of our faves that have been around since pre-kids. And they always eat that one really well. So it was a good night. Casey's having tacos. That is my love language. There you go. So a few announcements before we get started. First is our new workstation widget. Okay, so if you check your news tab daily, back up a step, Cincy Connect app. Make sure that you have that downloaded. Make sure you're using that. Make sure you're logged into that because that is going to send you alerts every time there's a news article, a new news article that comes out. Okay. Um, it's also going to prompt you to follow up with your customers. So if you have not downloaded that Cincy Connect app, be sure to do that ASAP. First thing to do off this meeting. But in addition to Cincy Connect, we have a new workstation widget, which pairs well with the Cincy Connect app. This new widget, if you log into your workstation, you've seen it, it's at the very top, and it is for your prospects and your new customers. So it shows you how many new customers you have month to date, so how many you have this month, and how many new customers you have this year, okay? Which is a huge eye opener, okay? With how many new customers you have in your business and how many prospects you have. The biggest thing and the best advice I've ever gotten about the workstation is you literally cannot break it. Go in there, click around, see what it gives you, see what information you have. There may be some things that you're like, oh, but she's a customer. Keep in mind that if your customer is not logging into their account and they're making a new account every time they shop, they're going to be considered a new customer. Okay, so keep that in mind when you're looking through your prospects. If they're using the same information and making a new account, or maybe they're using a different email, they may show up double time, and that is where you can, I'm assuming you can still merge contacts. I know Cincy did that for us, but that was a problem way back when. We don't have to deal with that anymore. So make sure you're checking out that new widget. Again, it shows you how many new customers you have for the month and for the year, and it shows you your prospects. So those are going to be people who have at some point given you their information, whether that be one-on-one. So maybe they gave it to you in person and you put their information in. Maybe they did a bring back my bar voting. Maybe they did a alert me when this is back. It could be a ton of different ways that they got into your system and they haven't ordered yet. Okay, that's going to be your prospect. So make sure you're checking that out. Encanto collection released today. We have a wax collection and a warmer. So make sure you're sharing that. That is in addition to our Destinations collection, our Lilo and Stitch, our Puddles and Petals, our Ratatouille, and then of course our Whiff Box and Amazing Catalog too. So there is no shortage of fun, interesting things, okay? So make sure that you are sharing all those things or sharing what fits well in your business. And I'm not saying you have to share them all, but if you come up one day and you're like, I don't know what to share, there's literally, there's tons and tons and tons of stuff that Cincy gives us. Our join special. So we have a join special this month. Love the idea of this. Anyone who joins gets a free Whiff Box. Okay. So whether they join the 99 traditional kit, they get a free whiff box. The host exclusive $59 kit, they get a whiff box. And even if they reinstate and they order the reinstatement kit, they get a free whiff box. Okay. I have had people ask me if they can reinstate and not order the reinstatement kit. That's fine. Yes, you can reinstate for free with Scentsy, but if you don't order your reinstatement kit, you don't get that free whiff box. Okay. In addition to all that, if they come back or if they start their journey and they're active in June, they get a coupon for a whiff box at a later date. Okay. So they have the potential of getting, well, $70 worth of whiff boxes for free. Okay. For joining or reinstating. So that's huge. That's a huge reason to join, obviously, to join. But also, what I was going to say is that's a huge reason to share the opportunity. Okay. Um, Maybe even the people who order a whiff box every month in club. Hey, you can get a free whiff box this month and one later, right? Um, we got to get creative with our thinking, who we're asking, where we're sharing, how often we're sharing it. We're not doing it as much, guys. We got to start getting back to sharing it more often. And then the last but not least announcement is next week, well, actually, technically Wednesday, we will be leaving town, but Thursday, me and Eric will be going on the incentive trip to Greece. It's the cruise to Greece and Turkey. So we leave on Thursday from the States, and we won't be back until the following end of the week. Okay. It's a week-long cruise. So not this week, but next week, I'm going to do signups for Director of the Day. We've done this in the past. It's really nothing. It sounds scary, but I promise you it's not. It is really just a time that you're kind of in charge of Simply Grace and Grit Facebook group, making sure that people's questions are being answered, that you're sharing something, that you're getting the conversation going. You can even schedule outposts if you want. I can give you that ability. But really, you're just taking the initiative in your business as a leader or a potential leader to be the director of the page for the day. Okay. It can be as much or as little as you want. But like I said, the only thing I really ask that you do is at least share one thing and just make sure that people's questions are being answered within 24 hours. Really, that's it. Keep that group going, keep that group alive. I will be working kind of while I'm gone. I will be around, and obviously I'm scheduling out posts and doing prep work. But the thing with the cruise is unless we get the Wi-Fi package, which we aren't planning on doing right now, we never know what our service is going to be. And this also gives you the chance to step up in your business and do some hard things and maybe some uncomfortable things with your team where it's safe to do so. So, Director for a Day, I'll be posting about that later this week. So, claim a day and keep the group going. So, tonight we're going to talk about two things. The first thing we're going to talk about is a mid-year check-in. It is literally halfway through the year. Hello. That's crazy, right? Is that not crazy that 2025 is halfway done? So if you made goals for the year, now is the time to go back and look at those. If you did it, that's okay. But now is the time where even if you didn't, maybe you have goals that you have thought of over the last month or so that you wanted to do. If you go back to the January post in Simply Grace and Grit, you can look on there if you shared your yearly goals or just your monthly. Some people share both. And maybe you didn't make them, that's okay, but we are going to be moving forward with how we want to end our year, okay? So it is halfway through 2025. And taking a look at your business, going through the workstation, pulling up reports for the monthly stats it's just the time to do it. It's a super important time to see what's my average PRV look like, what is my sponsoring looking like per month. Last month we started our fiscal year in Scentsy, so that's for our annual sales and annual mentor. So maybe your year isn't going the way that you want it to, but our technically annual sales and annual mentor, it just started last month. So we can get back on that bandwagon and make some goals with that. So the first thing I want to do, I know Michelle said she was driving, but the first thing I want to do is I want to start off this review by celebrating. So I want y'all to put one recent win in the comments. It can be big or small. Some examples could be that you got a new club subscriber. It could be that you got a bingo. It could be that you hit a sales goal. It could be that you promoted. It could be even that you went live with this social show up program that we're doing right now. It could be that you sponsored someone. So share in the comments what your one win is. Okay. So again, big or small, whatever that looks like in your business. All that. So, like I said, make sure you go back and look at what was your PRV goal for the year? How many team members did you sponsor? Or did you want to sponsor for the year? And then did you set a title or an income goal? If you haven't yet, that's something that we need to reflect on now. Okay. Amanda said, I was surprised to get the bingo update email. I didn't think I was close to anything. So, yeah, that bingo is a huge opportunity for growth. It's a long incentive. It's a really fun incentive. It's something that I have just myself printed off and kept up with by hand. So make sure that you're going through, you're figuring out how many you have in a row. The bingo update emails went out with how many you have in a row. Make sure that you're tracking the same ones. That's a huge win to see, even that you have so many in a row. Bree said, I went live in the social media show up. That is huge for me. I got a bingo, sponsored someone this month. So Bree has many wins. I love that so much. The social media show up, if you're not aware about what that is really just showing up in your business on video every single day in June. Okay, so that can be a pre-recorded video, that can be a live, that can be in your stories. You don't have to necessarily show your face, though I do strongly recommend that you do in at least a few of them. And it is a challenge that we have that you're tracking on your own. Okay. And it is just to serve you and your business. So Casey said that I actually went live. I'll be doing that again. Yeah. And those are the kind of things that you kind of forget to do. Me and Grady went live and we did a sniff sesh of the Destinations collection. We used to always do that when he was little. So that was fun. That's one of my small wins I really want to get back consistent with that. Consistent in a lot of things in my business. But yeah, so write down what you want your goals to be by the end of the month. And I would include, again, PRV, sponsoring, and then either title or an income goal. Okay. And then on top of that, it could be simple things like going live more or posting consistently. It doesn't always have to be numbers based, but a number based goal is something that is easier to track. So you can go back and say, my goal was 1K a month, but I'm averaging 900 a month, okay, or whatever it may be. So those number specific goals are really important, as well as the non-number goals. Just make sure that you're tracking it somehow, okay? So moving forward, we're almost halfway through June. We have the rest of the year to hit those goals. If you didn't make goals at the beginning of the year, now is the time to do them. And I would love for y'all to share those. So once you have those done after this meeting, within the next week, maybe that's your share on Director for a Day, okay? I also want you to ask yourself what's gone well so far for you this year, okay? So overall, maybe you feel like nothing has gone well. Maybe you feel like your business is stuck. Maybe you feel like you haven't been able to put it in as much as you can. Taking that time to reflect and say, well, what has gone well in my business? And choosing, again, big or small, it doesn't matter. What has gone well in your business? Has your VIP group interaction gone up? Have you been more consistent with posting? Have you had your highest sales month ever? Did you have a successful launch? Okay, whatever that looks like. And then also not only what has gone well, but what challenges have come up. So what are you struggling with right now? These are the kind of things that you have to have that self-reflection with yourself to do, okay? And then the other thing I want you to ask yourself is if you could only focus on one thing for the rest of the year till December 2025, what would make the biggest difference in your business? I want you to ask yourself that. That could be PRV, that could be consistency, that could be social media presence, that could be sponsoring. Again, I can't tell you what you have to make your goals to improve on, but if you could choose one thing that can make the biggest difference in your business, and that's the one thing you focus on for the rest of the year, then you'll be able to say at the end of the year that at least that was your goal and how you work towards it, okay? Um, Something that we haven't really talked about a lot, but is called the power of three. It's choosing 3 daily or weekly actions that align with your goals. Okay. So, some examples of the 3 things could be message, 3 customers follow up, post once a day, and offer a party or a sample a week. Okay. So, again, whatever that looks like for you, taking the time to figure that out is what's going to make the difference. You don't need to do everything. You just need to do the right things consistently. That is the biggest thing. And we miss that so much because there is so much sharing and amazingness going on in our business. We're like, oh, look at that pretty cooler. Oh, look at that pretty box. Oh, look at this great idea, right? But really focusing on what your business looks like and doing that consistently, okay? So make sure for everyone who just joined us a little late, we're just doing a mid-year check-in. There's a few questions that I want you to ask yourself. I want you to readjust your goals maybe that you had for the year because we're almost halfway through the year, and make new goals or adjust those current goals to reach by December. Okay. The other thing that we're going to talk about tonight is summertime selling tips. Okay, so with summertime, a lot of people think, oh, this is our time to have a break. This is our time to step away from our business. And this is our time to go have fun in the sun. Woo, the sun's out. Okay, totally get it. I'd rather go to the pool than work. I mean, I think we all would, right? But we really have to have that mindset shift with that it's a new season of opportunity and not a break. Okay, not a break in our business. Now, I do want you to take breaks in your business. I do want you to go on vacation. I do want you to involve in in I cannot talk tonight. I do want you to enjoy the time with your family because that's what summer's all about. But we still got to focus on our business because when those paychecks roll around, it'll show you what we're doing in our business, right? Payday was today. So we have to have that mindset shift with the season of opportunity with the summer. We really need to position Scentsy as a summer essential, okay? Because a lot of times when people think about Scentsy, they think fall, winter, holidays. That's the most exciting time with people. Um, the reason that that is so popular with Scentsy is because the fragrance gives the vibe of those holidays, okay? Right. So when you think about um October coming around, you think about the pumpkins and the leaves and the coziness, right? So we want to do that same thing for summer. We want to give that summer vibe, that fruity, that fresh, that out and about, enjoying the citrusy, yummy, fresh breeze, whatever it may be, right? So we want to do that same thing in summer. That's something that sometimes we miss the mark on, and that's okay. So a few ideas that you can use for your summertime selling tips is the Scentsy Go, the wall fans, really any fan system. That is a huge focus right now, right? Because people are on the go. They don't want anything spillable. Obviously, they're not going to put wax in their car. We're not going to recommend that. But the Scentsy Go, the fans, I'm sorry, not the fans, the air systems for RVs, campers, cars, everything that's on the go. Really focusing on laundry and clean for the fresh summer homes. The kids are home. The kids are home. The kids are home for summer and they are messy, right? So we want to talk about that. We want to share that I am not only just wiping my counter down after breakfast and dinner now, I'm wiping it down after breakfast, lunch, dinner, and the 5 million snacks that we're having, right? So stuff like that where we're getting creative with how we're sharing. Washer whiffs. That's one I didn't really even think about until the other day. I went to the pool with my friend and I took out my beach towel and she was like, "Oh, what scent is that?" And I was like, "What scent is what?" And because I'm obviously I was nose blind to it because I was like, "I don't even smell it." I was like, "I don't know, explain it to me." And she was like, "Your towel smells so good." And I was like, "It's either this or this. It's one of those two." Um, but yeah, using that, people are using the beach towels, the pool towels. They're trying to keep all the things fresh and clean. So make sure that you're sharing all that. Bundle ideas. So it could even be simple as like a pool party pack, a wax bundle. Um, there is a group. If someone will put the exact name in the comments, I'd appreciate it. It's something, it's like all about the photos. That's like my favorite group right now. It's Amber Blake is the one who runs that. And she posts, she's always took a ton of pictures, but she shares everything she does. She shares post ideas, shares pictures of releases. She really, really does work her business in the way where she will get things on hand so she can share about the products to her customers and she shares that. Okay. So make sure you're in that group so you can, she does like daily post ideas. Thank you so much, Bree. Um, all about the photos for independent Scentsy consultants. She does tons of like 6-pack ideas. So she'll put 6 bars together. That's a huge hit with my customers, just sharing those. You would think that people would get sick of that, but when you start going through your order history and you start seeing what are people mostly ordering, for me, it's wax, right? So they're going to want something easy and quick that they can just check out. I'll share a 6-pack, build it in the cart, and then share the link, or you tell them contact me to get it for $30. Okay. Um, so the pool party pack could also not only be the wax 6-pack, but it could be a mini fan diffuser and pods, and you just call it the pool party pack. Okay. Same thing for road trips. Huge scent circle, mini fan and pods. You could do a bundle for that. Um, Make sure that you include on those things how much a refill is, because even though they may have to pay the, what is that, 25, 28-ish dollars, a refill for that is only going to be, the pods are going to be $10, right? So yes, they'll have to buy the system up front, but no, it does not expire if someone orders it. Many people can use that link. Yep. Because it's sharing a cart. The parties on the go. This one was a cute idea I saw. You know, if you're doing bag parties, or maybe if you aren't, that's actually on my list to do, is to do more of those. But instead of using the, I've used a lot pencil pouches from the Dollar Tree, which you can totally do. But if you wanted to make it a little bit more fun, you could do a cooler bag party where you put testers and um, order forms and maybe a few samples in a cute little cooler bag that they return to you. You could do a beach bag party where it's kind of the same thing. I know Hobby Lobby has some really cute canvas bags that you could either get there or just use your own. Use your own personal bag and just ask them to give it back to you. Simple bags with testers and order forms. Like I said, it doesn't have to be, you're going to see some things that have a full fragrance flower, a full mini fan, a full pod, a full whatever. And that's awesome if that's something you can do. But if you're not there in your business, that's okay. You can literally just do testers and order forms. Okay. Keep it simple. Done is better than perfect. The other ideas I saw was washer whiffs with just changing up your labeling it as summer laundry magic, right? So saying that it's summer laundry magic sample pack. Citrus, tropical, fruity, fresh. Those are obviously going to be the main focus for summertime. Make sure you're not only sending the sample, but you're checking in after. Okay. You could even put something on there where it says, sniff this and text me with a rating of 1 to 10 and you'll be entered into my monthly drawing. Okay, that way you're having that conversation with your customer. They're going to want to be in your drawing, and that drawing could be for literally, it could be for next month's scent of the month. It could be for a scent circle. It could be for a bar, whatever it looks like for you. It could be $5 off your next order. Whatever you want to do in your business, because it's a one-on-one communication, you can do that. Okay. Um, Also, ideas for either lives or posts is doing things like summer must-haves. So, what do you like to use in the summer? What products do you, and maybe you don't necessarily use them every day, but you can think of ways to use them. Okay. What's in my beach bag? What's in my pool bag? What are you taking that Scentsy that you're going to take with you? Like I said, we're about to go on a very, very long trip, and I am packing all the Scentsy things, and you best believe I'm going to be sharing why and how I'm bringing all of these things, right? So for me, I usually always bring a warmer to our beach vacation. I'm not doing that this year. I'm going to use the 4-pod um, Scentsy Air linen and use that instead, because I don't have to worry about the wax melting in the car. Okay. And I'm going to talk about that, right? So think about that. Even with your lives or shares, you could do a wax a lot of people do Wax Wednesday. What are you warming? Do Wax Wednesday by the pool. Okay. Not saying you have to have a pool, but just call it that. Make it fun, make it cute. People love the presentation of things. Okay. You could do 3-minute must-haves. Go live for 3 minutes and tell them why they must have this product. Okay. You could do a 3-minute must-have once a week or once a month, whatever that looks like in your business. Okay. The most important things I think with focusing, and like I said at the beginning, positioning Scentsy as a summer essential is the vocabulary, the words you use with people. If you are not using Chat GPT yet, guys, do it. Do it. Say, hey, I want to um, make an interesting post, an interesting summary post about this. Give me a few ways to word it. ChatGPT is free. They do have a free option. You just have to download the app. You can even go to the website. They have a paid version as well. I personally use the free. Okay. And it still gives me tons of ideas. Um, Saying things like, what are some Scentsy products that are perfect for summer road trips? Sharing what your top 3 summer scents are, right? When you're talking about scents and you're explaining how it feels like or smells or when you would use it, using words like this is giving like vacation in a bar, or this reminds me of being on Mexico on the beach, or whatever it may be, right? We know we all have like our focus fall and winter scents. We also have our focus spring and summer scents too. Okay. So again, make sure that we're not using the summer to necessarily take a break, but we're using it as a sense of opportunity. All right. Yes. I don't know what Copilot is, but ChatGPT is like the ish right now. So, does anyone have, that's all I have for y'all tonight. Mid-year check-in and summer selling tips. Does anyone have any questions, any thoughts? Oh, of course, it's the Microsoft version. Um, Anything they want to share, ask any questions. The floor is open. And don't be shy.
I use it as an opportunity to start rebuilding my business because we say the J months. My June is typically good. It's a little different this year so far, but it's not going to stop me. My
Yeah.
July is typically my slower month out of all of the whole year. Um, and I use that as a complete rebuild. I look at who am I going to ask for parties for the end of July, early August, so I can start working on what I'm anticipating for the fall, because people are going to want that transition where they can be like, oh, I want both. I want scents for both seasons.
Yep. Yep. And July is usually my slowest month of the year too, and that means that I'm being more intentional about filling the calendar so it's not. And it's because that's our most traveled month as a family. So, and again, that's okay too. Like there's got to be 1 month or 2 months that are a slow month, but we're also not just going to sit back and not let anything happen. So, being smart of that, planning it out, like you said, getting those dates on the calendar, going back and looking to see who are your spring and summer people. Really utilizing what Scentsy given us. Those destination flowers are gorgeous. I'm not surprised they're not sold out yet. Things like that, where you're really just sharing your opinion on what you think about what we have right now. Um, and how you're using the products. Even if it's something that, if you're thinking, a lot of times I hear people say, well, I don't have the most current stuff to share. That's okay. That's okay, guys. If you have very snowy spruce counter clean, that's okay. Go and share about your very snowy spruce and that you use it around here and you love it so much. And then just share that you have that we now have the new scents of this, this, and this. You don't have to have all current new stuff to share what you're using with Scentsy. And honestly, that's a perk that you don't, our counter clean lasts forever. Like I can't use it fast enough because I'm so ready to like use a new scent. Um, that's okay, that to share that, right? Be real, be authentic, share what you love. If you love very snowy spruce year round, your customers will be attracted to that because they know that you're telling the truth. Okay. So don't feel like you have to have all of the things to show because you really don't. And that's not what our business is about. Our business is about making money for your family, not spending money to make sure you have the most current thing on hand at all. No, no, no. Not
I
doing that.
still use the dish soap because whenever A goes on clearance, B comes out as an LTO or whatnot.
Yep.
Because whenever someone's like, "Hey, you have dish soap," and I'm like, "Yeah." Next time it comes out, do you want me to put you on a list?
Yeah. Do I have dish soap?
Of course, I have dish soap. I have like 10 bottles of dish soap.
And you can't have any. No, I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, for real. I love our dish soap. Love, love, love. One of the other things that I heard an idea of was with their Cincy Club subscribers, going through your contacts list and tagging. So we have a tagging feature in our workstation. I personally have a few of them set up. I've shared this in the past, but um, tagging your Cincy Club customers and then sending them an email at the beginning of every month to tell them what the exclusives are for them. So not just sharing your VIP group, but having that one-on-one communication with them to say, hey, this is what's new and what's available for just you this month. That was another idea I heard to get a little bit more sales for your Cincy Club people. Also, the points. We get emails when your people's points are about to expire. If you're getting those emails, they are also getting those emails, but those points will expire without them being able to use it. Make sure you're just, hey, just want to make sure you just got that email I got. I did that with my mom the other day and she didn't even get the email. So um, just make sure that, um, yep, educate about our products, go live and show them how it works. Um, all of those back to the basic type of things with our business because we get very distracted with not feeling like we're doing enough or whatever excuse it is. We got to get back to what we were doing when things were going really, really well.
One thing I just got to bring back, my bar will be coming out soon. We found, when I say we, someone in the SD group that I'm in found these and I got them. They're ice cube trays. So if they
Mhm.
melt in here, it's okay because they're silicone at the bottom, so they pop out really easily. And they have a lid.
Nice.
So to use that instead of like a tackle box. And it was only a few dollars. So if you're like, I don't know if I can do a whole tackle box to like sell, do that. It's simple, it's smaller, a smaller version of it, and that will give you like some confidence there.
Yeah. Love that. Will you share that link in our group too? Michelle just brought up a good idea. Remember, the audience on social media is different during the summer times, and that is so true because this is when you need to be contacting your teachers. Okay, I don't know about y'all's teacher customers, but my teacher customers are always like, I can't think about anything until summertime. So I'm hitting up my teachers during the summer to host the parties and have those joint conversations because they're not crazy busy, and they may be on vacation for months and months and months. Summer hits hard for teachers, okay? Financially and just being busy. A lot of times teachers just want to be busy. So make sure that anyone that you know that is a teacher that is your customer or maybe is a potential customer, that you're reaching out and asking them about the parties and stuff. So that Michelle's comment reminded me of that. Lauren said, I try to remind my club people before their shipment goes out so they can log in and update it and usually suggest the exclusives then. Yes, that's a good idea. Cincy also sends in an email and says, hey, make sure, do you still want this? Do you want to make any changes? Thank God they do that because I update mine every time they send it. But that extra touch that Lauren is also contacting them to, that's that extra step of customer service for her customers. So I love that. Love that, love that, love that. And honestly, the Cincy Club is a spot on the bingo card for the incentive that you have to have um, a $60 club run before the end of the time. So guess what's in every one of my mail outs last month and this month? It's about Cincy Club because I haven't gotten that $60 club yet. So that's one of my focuses. Make sure that that's in the social media show up too. If you're doing that, that you're talking on video or showing something, you don't necessarily have to show your face, like I said, but that you're talking about something with Cincy Club. That could even be just a video of you like screen recording your phone or videoing you on a computer editing your club. It doesn't have to be a setup reel or anything like that. It can be the real raw footage of your stuff when your club order comes in. Um, just being consistent with talking about that. That's part of the social media show up too. So, yep. Lauren says I do a video unboxing my club almost every time. Yep. That definitely gets the conversation going. And people are watching, even though that you may feel like they're not interacting on the club videos, there'll be times where they're like, well, tell me about this club. I had a conversation about club the other day with one of my customers. She orders every single month. And I was like, they make a program just for you. And I told her all the perks. And sent her the link so she could look at the FAQ, and I sent her a cute little graphic. She hasn't signed up yet, but she's one on my radar. I'm like, you're ordering, if they're ordering every month, every single month, every other month, or every 3 months, a club conversation is warranted. And that's a lot of customers that do that. So unboxing your club and just talking about all the bars that you get that aren't available anymore. Huge opportunity. Anybody else want to share anything before we shut the recording down? I appreciate y'all joining me live tonight. We will not have a monthly meeting next month because of SFR. But we'll pick it back up in August. So, alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording.